That's happening to Andrew right now. Bad media all out there. You can't defend yourself.
Yeah. And especially, and when you deplatform people, you remove their ability to defend themselves.
Exactly.
Which is what, do you know what's really actually has annoyed me with there's a lot of things that are annoying with the situation, but one of the things I think is really lame from like the kind of general population and sort of internet mob mentality types is I think it's really lame to attack someone when you know, like to be all quiet when they can defend themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And to be biting your tongue. And then when you know that they can't reply or respond at all, even just verbally, then you're like throwing out all the bombs and you're like saying all this. And it's like, bro, you know that, like, you know, he can't even reply to it. And you can just spread like crazy rumors and whatever without to me, it's just, you know, two words that I never hear in Western culture anymore, in our societies. It's two words: honor and duty. Never hear those words anymore. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Everything's rights and feelings and emotions and me and what I want and what I feel. And you never hear anyone talk about like honor, like the concept of something being dishonorable, because I see that and I'm like, that's dishonorable.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like someone, like, I'm like, that's a dishonorable move. And also in terms of like things that people should do, no one talks about duties, right? It's just like rights and rights and rights. And rights are important, right? I'm a big defender of people's rights. But there's also duties, right? There's things that you should do, right? It's not just about like what you can or want to do.
Yeah.
It's also, well, what should you do? Like what's your duty, right? Yeah, you have a right to do whatever for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know, man. I think the whole situation's been kind of annoying, but it's interesting because 99.99% of people who have heard of Andrew Tate, of course, have never met him. We've all met him many times, interviewed him, hung out with him. Same with Tristan as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going to have our own bias, but if anything, our bias is more accurate.
Exactly.
Because you actually have met and know the individual. So someone might be like, oh, well, yeah, of course you'll defend him because you know him. It's like, well, yeah, I know him. Like, you're just going off of whatever bullcrap the media has spoon-fed you over the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? This is someone who I've known to some degree. He was the 4th ever guest on my podcast, January 2019. Right? Like, we've been following each other since 2018. So do I know the man in and out and everything? No. But, you know, my view is generally going to be more accurate than someone who heard about him in October.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
You said something that really, I think, needs to be repeated. You said honor. And I think this is something that is a strength and a weakness of mine. A lot of, shout out to Destiny. Destiny actually said this about me like a couple months back. And he said that Myron is loyal to a fault. And you know what? I would say that is probably one of my weaknesses. And that's why I get so angry when people like, my thing is this. If I work with you in the past, right, and I've done a collab with you or I've worked with you or whatever, you will never, ever catch me bad-mouthing you in public. I will never fucking do that shit, right? But it is strange to me, right, coming from a law enforcement background, getting into social media, people do that all the time. Yeah. They'll collab with someone, they'll work with someone, and then I'll see them turn around and sell that guy out for AdSense revenue.
Content.
Or for content. And I've never understood that. I always thought that was the there's been plenty of times we could have we had information on someone or whatever. We could have exploited that. Yeah, man, this is going to go viral. But we said no. Yes. Guys, we have a bunch of footage that we could release that would be crazy. Yeah. But I would never, ever do that because I treasure that respect and that honor from that person over money, right? Money isn't everything. And to me, relationships and respect, and like you said, honor is everything. So people got mad at me and you with our response to Apple and Peach when they did what they did. But the reality is this dude came into my home. I fed him. We talked. We had a great discussion. I let him hold his stuff in my room. Like, it was a very personable interaction. And then for them to turn around and make a video talking smack about us after, this could have been said on a phone call. Like, I've had issues and disagreements with other content creators. I'm not going to make a video about you. I'm going to call you in person. I'm going to say, hey, I don't like this or whatever. Or why'd you do that? We're going to iron it out off screen, off the camera. Yeah. You don't hold your friends accountable on camera. That's strange. Why would you do that? Right? If you actually care about them. So when that happened, yeah, I responded poorly. I shouldn't have responded emotionally like that. But that concept of betraying your friends is a foreign thing to me. I'm getting used to it now on the internet. But that's why I responded the way that I did, because if I rock with you, I rock with you.
Yeah.
Like right now, guys, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The past couple of days, what's been going on with Andrew has been making me extremely angry. I've been a little bit more erratic than I should be. I've been very bothered. I've wanted to go on rants as far as like posting on IG about some things. I mean, this new Vice thing came out recently where this girl's coming forward and saying a bunch of allegations that I know are fucking lies because I talked with Andrew about this personally. And, you know, and now everyone wants to try to, you know, come in and, you know, get their spotlight. Oh, yeah, you know, Andrew did this to me, did that to me, blah, blah, blah. And I know for a fact I've seen girls get offered $10,000 to $50,000 to come forward and lie to him, lie on him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some girls accepted it, but clearly now some girls didn't accept it. Now we're clearly seeing some girls may have accepted it, right? There is a strong incentive to silence him, to make money while doing it, and to keep him down. And while everyone else is piling on, I look at it like I stand by him. Yeah. I don't care what any of you guys say. Yeah. Like I know the guy personally. I know him. I know Tristan personally. Yeah. Spends a significant amount of time with them.
They've been good to you.
I lived with them.
Of course.
I watched how they move every single day. Mm-hmm. These guys aren't traffickers. What the hell are y'all talking about? These dudes are making millions of dollars a month. You know what I mean? They're going to bring that kind of attention to them. And the crazy thing to me is like these allegations, oh, this stuff occurred in March. They were already famous in March. You're telling me that none of these allegations came when they had 75 plus models working for them and it could have easily happened back then in 2018, 2019. None of that stuff happened. This girl that's coming forward now on Vice saying all this bullshit. Oh, this happened. I witnessed this, all this other stuff. Why did the case get dropped in the UK? It got dropped, right? And back then they wanted to go after him back then. They could have made a case, but they didn't.
Enough evidence.
Yeah.
Not enough evidence.
Also from a critical thinking perspective, whether you know someone knows these individuals or not, is why would you seek to become one of the most famous and most Googled people in the world if you were doing something really sketchy, right? Like if I were like committing some big time crime, right? Some real violation, right?
Yeah.
The last thing I want is to be going viral on TikTok and on Instagram, right? Like that's the last thing I would want. And we're not talking about stupid people. We're talking about very highly intelligent individuals. So even again, just thinking critically, I'm like, well, you know, why that doesn't make sense. And also on top, you're already legitimately, clearly making vast sums of money. You're not hurting for women at all. Why would someone do that? Like it doesn't even, from a critical thinking standpoint, even moving away from knowing some of the individuals involved, it's just like that doesn't make sense. Like the incentive structure doesn't even line up at all.
I watched them turn girls away at the club. Like I watched them turn girls away. I've seen girls treat Tristan and Andrew poorly and they still give them money to get a cab to go home. Mm-hmm. I've watched them tell, oh, driver, take her home, make sure she gets home. Yeah. You know, and for them to say all this stuff, it's like, okay, all right, cool. Y'all want to come with the, you know, they took him off all the platforms. You guys don't like what he's saying, but clearly they can't stop him. He's still all over the place. His content still goes viral everywhere. They try to take all his platforms away. Now it's like, okay, well, you know what, let's get some. And the crazy part is he called it. You know what? They're going to come up with some bullshit charges. Bam. Next thing you know, oh, human trafficking, organized criminal activity. What?
Yeah, I'm also curious as well because here's something in networking, right? That's very well known throughout networkers is that the people around you will talk about you without you saying anything.
Yeah.
We were there for a couple of weeks in Romania, and all of his workers, all of his people that were around him, just even the security, were happy, cheerful. Yeah. Oh, they're great guys, man. Take care of them. Make sure they're good people. You know, having a good time. And it's like, if they're saying good things about him, how are these people coming out of nowhere that weren't saying this before saying it now? And then secondly, guys, this is scary because that agenda that being pushed against him is the media outlets. So how do you fight that? Yeah. And he's detained. He can't even speak about it. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.